Well, what's up everybody, welcome back to the channel, and we're back on the BMW 330i. It's 2017 and we're going to be doing front brakes. Last video we did rear brakes, this one's front brakes, and I'm on a hill, so sorry, I know it was kind of like a really close-up view. First thing I'm going to do is go ahead and pull this brake sensor wire off. You see, you should be able to pull it out. Yeah, that one's being a pain in the butt, but for all y'all who's watching this and saw my last video with the rear, this is basically how you take these sensors off. So just trace it all the way back up to the box. Now we'll clip, push. Oh, and this one's tight. There it goes. And whenever I take the pad out, I'll go ahead and pull the sensor out. But most of the time they run through the little brake bleeder piece right there, but this one didn't. It should have ran up and went through there, but somebody's probably been in here before. Yeah, not a big deal. So, next thing, 6mm, just like the rear, and also just like the rear, 28 Newton meters to torque the caliper on. And then I want to show you a little trick. Most of the time on the front of these BMWs, you do not have to take the bracket off to take the rotor off. You can snake it through. Just a little trick that I've learned. We're going to take this right here off, and you can do them one-handed, just like that with that. Then just like the back, I mean, this is almost identical to the back. The torque specs, the caps on it, the sizes, everything. But then you get 8mm and pop it. Where are you? Get in there. There we go. Thread this out and do just like on the rear. Normally I show front videos, but I already had the rear tire off at the time. And like I said on the rear too, these are easy. Nothing crazy. No special real tools, as long as you got an Allen wrench set or something. Allen socket, something along those lines. I gotta move. I'm sliding, I'm just sitting on the tire. And we are out in the country right now. This is a house call. They were afraid to drive it because if you saw that rear brake pad too, they had some pretty nasty wear on that thing. It was almost to the metal. So I don't blame them. I'm glad that certain people do that and they take care of their cars. And we got all the brakes from Advance. Not a sponsor, but that's just who had them in stock. Use this, push out that pin. Should be all the way out. So I'm not zoomed in the whole time moving around. Let me go ahead and take this caliper off, and then once I get this off, I'll show you all the little trick to getting this brake rotor off without actually pulling the the bracket. Alright, so I'm going to show you all the trick to getting this out without pulling the bracket off. Move my thing. Grab it right here on the corner, and there you go, just like that. So you're just going to grab it and pull it out. This way you're going to flip it from the front back like that. You may have to pull a little bit, but it'll come right out. And don't worry about it, ain't going to mess up the rotor, it ain't going to mess up the bracket or any of that stuff. I've always done it this way, I've never had any issues. But if you are worried, go ahead and take the bracket off. 2 bolts, it's just, if you don't have to take that step off right there, That's just something I like to do, just eliminate another step. Makes it quick, makes it quicker for me. So we took the sensor off. Here's the sensor. You can see how it's got like that little nipple piece. That goes towards rotors. Now I want to clean up the new rotor right here. Here is the new one. Part number, where are you? Oh. YH200838P. And then the pad, sorry, PMD1561H. So let me get this cleaned up, get it put on there, put the hold down bolt in, and then I'll start putting everything back together. I will show me compressing the piston. They're real easy to do on these. So I'm pressing in the piston now, and this is just one hand. Like I said on the back, like, I know I'm saying that a lot, but it is identical to the rear. But these are going in super easy. I've never had any go in this smooth. Normally there's a lot more resistance than this on, but this one right here is super smooth. And you just go until it bottoms out. And it's want to rotate on me. It's bottomed out now, and there we go. And that is all I'm using. You can use a C-clamp, you can use whatever. Pop that out. That's what the back looks like. You can see right here. There we go. You can see right there. Put some brake grease on there. We're going to do the same thing. Just a little bit right here, here, and then on the other caliper, pad, I'm going to put a little bit around that on the little ears right there, and then a little bit on the spring itself, just make sure that there is no noise. So let me paint this little thing up, put it on there, and then before I close out the video, I'll bring y'all back. Alright, got everything back on, everything's torqued, got the sensor back on. On these right here, I know I didn't show you, I should have, but normally what I like to do is stick that bottom one in first, push it down and push it over, and then I'll use a screwdriver or pry bar or something and pry up on it. I can get it in there right away. Pry up on it like that, and then after it gets seated, I just pop it in and it seats right in there. I've seen where people sometimes put grease on those right there. You can do that if you want to. It won't hurt anything, and it does keep it from like making any kind of squealing noise or anything. But that's pretty much for putting front brakes on here. Identical to the back, to be honest. 28 Newton meters on the caliper bracket, caliper 2 bracket. And then if you do take the bracket off without using the method I showed you about pulling the rotor off, it is 50 Newton meters with an additional 60 degrees. Sorry. Spray this off one more time. Just a good thing to do, get all your dirt and stuff. But 28 Newton meters, then 50 and another 60 degrees for the bracket. Then put your tire back on and make sure you pump the brake until it gets hard before you take off, because it will go to the floor the first time you got to do this. But if you got any questions, comments, concerns, let me know in the comment section. I get to them as soon as possible. If you got another little trick or something to make this go quicker, let me know as well. And it may help me and some other people out. If you didn't like the video, let me know why. You know, I do take criticism. You know, I want people to let me know what I need to do to make things better. I'm trying to improve the channel for everybody. I just like to help people. But hit all the notification bells, like, subscribe and stuff if you haven't already. If you didn't like it, check out my channel. I got 400 other videos. Might find something you do like. And y'all remember, torque is tight. Y'all have